Why millions are leaving these 10 states. The country faces crumbling infrastructure as populations shrink across unexpected states. Millions are leaving not just California or New York, but states with cheap homes and beautiful views. This isn't about weather or taxes, it's about infrastructure black holes, economic time bombs, and ghost towns quietly bleeding residents. Choosing wrong could cost you thousands or your sanity. Number 10. Louisiana. Louisiana's net domestic migration rate ranks bottom 5 in the U.S. for the past 3 years. Over 62% of roads are in poor condition, with 1,600 structurally deficient bridges and water systems delivering brown water in 2025. Despite billions in federal aid, infrastructure collapse drives people away from gorgeous landscapes like the Atchafalaya Basin. Morrisonville, a vanished black community near Baton Rouge, was literally erased after chemical companies bought it out due to contamination. Number 9. West Virginia. West Virginia has the lowest labor participation rate in America at 54%, with population decline every year for over a decade. Counties like McDowell and Wyoming have lost more than 60% of their population since the 1950s. The state suffers from structural abandonment, no long-term planning, 1970s budgets, and promises that never materialize. Thurmond has 5 residents and 1 fully functional train station because the railroad refuses to admit the town is gone. Number 8. Wyoming. Wyoming ranks in the bottom 10 for internet coverage, with nearly 40% of residents living over an hour from a full-service hospital. Despite being gorgeous and tax-free, the state had net population outflow over the past 2 years. The isolation is expensive to maintain when only 12 people live in an area the size of France. Kerwin, an abandoned mining town reachable only by a TV, represents dreams that couldn't survive the math. Number 7. Delaware. Delaware's violent crime rate is higher than the national average, with median rent over $1,500, despite being a corporate haven. Over 1 million businesses are incorporated there. But that money doesn't trickle down to infrastructure or local services. Public school performance ranks in the bottom third nationally despite wealth from spillover commuters. Fort DuPont, a stalled waterfront development, symbolizes big promises with little delivery. Number 6. Nebraska. 2/3 of Nebraska's counties lost population in the last decade, with one of the fastest aging rural populations in America. Only 65% of rural residents have reliable internet access, and many hospitals are on life support. Schools are closing, businesses vanishing, with no one to take over in small towns. Manawi has a population of one 80-year-old woman who serves as mayor, librarian, and bartender. Number 5. Arizona. Phoenix set a record with 31 straight days over 110 degrees Fahrenheit, while water reservoirs dropped so low that suburbs are rationing usage. Housing costs rose 65% between 2020 and 2023. Yet Arizona had the 3rd highest net outbound migration in the U.S. in 2025. Education rankings are bottom 5, with teachers quitting and class sizes swelling. Trilogy at Rio Verde, a luxury community, was cut off from city water and now pays trucks to haul it in. Number 4. Iowa. Over 60% of Iowa's 99 counties lost population in the last decade, with more than 100 rural schools closing since 2000. The median age is rising faster than the birth rate, creating a shrinking tax base with flat job growth. Basic infrastructure like broadband remains patchy, with many areas stuck slower than dial-up speeds. Valentine, Iowa, has a population of 12, with boarded windows and a main street wearing faded 1950s signs like badges of pride. Number 3. Oklahoma. Between 2010 and 2024, over 40 of Oklahoma's 77 counties lost population, with rural housing vacancy rates over 15%. Nearly 1 in 3 rural Oklahomans live more than 60 minutes from a hospital or emergency facility. The share of residents aged 25 to 34 has dropped by 12% in many regions as oil-dependent employment becomes volatile. Pitcher, a former mining town, was evacuated in the early 2000s due to pollution and now has a sign reading population 0. Number 2. South Dakota. More than half of South Dakota's 66 counties saw population decline between 2010 and 2024. Many losing 10 to 20% of residents. Nearly 30% of rural residents live over 50 miles from the nearest hospital or emergency clinic. Over 120 small towns lost their only grocery store, post office, or school by 2025. Gan Valley has a population of 10, with just a dusty road, boarded-up general store, and a cracked welcome sign. Number 1. Mississippi. Mississippi has lost population for 11 straight years, the longest decline in the region, with the highest rural hospital closure risk in the country. Home insurance rates have shot up 30 to 70% depending on county, while wages lag the national average by nearly 25%. College-educated residents leave at one of the highest rates in the U.S., especially ages 22 to 35. Electric mills, once innovative enough to have electricity before New York City suburbs, now sits hollow with cracked sidewalks and a rusty water tower symbolizing lost potential.